Hello and welcome to the sales workflow. Okay, so an applicant has made an offer and the vendor's accepted it. So the next stage is when solicitors are instructed. From this point onwards, this is progressed in the sales section at the top here. Since we're following the workflow from an offer, let's go back to the applicant. We will start a new sale by clicking the icon here. Selector Process, so the system lets you create customizable processes. For example, if you were to sell residential properties, your checklist of things that you're progressing will be different from, for example, if you're selling a garage. Select whether the property belongs to a chain and then fill out the rest of the standard information. Now, before we progress the sale and print out a memorandum of sales letter, let's add the buyer and vendor solicitor. This is the page where you'd edit the vendor in the second tab. As you can see, the buyer, the vendor and their solicitors have been added to the deal. Let's print out a memorandum of sale. You will need Microsoft Word to open this document. As you can see, the system's generated a memorandum of sale to the buyer, vendor and their solicitors. Tick the items off as you progress through the sale. Remember that the items that you see here are customizable via the control panel. Mark the deal was exchanged and raise any invoices via the tab here. Add any notes or comments. Let's scroll down to the invoicing section. Now, there are two types of invoices for a sale, a proforma invoice and a regular invoice. Now, the difference is that a proforma invoice is like a payment demand, so it doesn't affect your company accounts, whereas a normal invoice will affect your company accounts as soon as it's raised. Now, let's say that you raise an invoice and then never receive a payment. That means that your profit and loss and all of your sales reports are going to show that you've made that money when you actually haven't. So if there's any risk of a huge delay or not receiving the funds at all, simply raise a proforma invoice and that way your accounts and your reports are all intact. Once you've received the funds, mark the proforma invoice as paid. So funds have been received, now let's issue a sales invoice. Now let's email the invoice to the solicitor. Now we're going to mark this sale as complete and archive it, but before we end this session, I'm going to show you how it's going to affect the company accounts. Let's go to profit and loss. The sales commission can be seen here, and you could see a breakdown of the transactions. Now, to finalize this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to receive the funds from the vendor. Let's go to Other Receivables on the left. We now need to take a payment against the vendor to settle their account. Select the bank where the sales commissions are paid to. Now, if we take a look at the vendor's account, go to the main account, you'll see two transactions. One was where the invoice was raised, the other was when the payment was received. So that completes the process. A quick recap. We received an offer, we started a sale from the offer found in the applicant section, solicitors were instructed, we created a sale, printed a sales memorandum letter, we progressed the sale, marked it as exchanged, we first raised a proforma invoice, then we raised a regular invoice, and we received a payment against that invoice to settle the balance. That's all for now, bye bye.